Kathy Solis. So we've had Philippines bowlers now in the 2 grand finals.
I think it's probably the most exciting TV match we've had for a long time. They're very colourful on the lanes of Filipinos.
Now here's Jeanette Baker, and of that defeat of Louise Wallace means that Jeanette Baker now will represent Australia in the World Cup in Holland, because she can finish no worse than second, which would be ahead of Louise Wallace. So Jeanette Baker, and there's Jeanette, and there are some details of her bowling.
Jeanette's been bowling for 19 years. Winner of the South Pacific Classic in 1975, 6 times member of the FIQ team, very seasoned bowler at her young age. Beautiful stylist, hits the ball out well. Nice high follow through on Jeanette too.
Yes.
Average 200 to come in number 1 position.
Yes, and in the match play section of this tournament, that's last night and today, she had a high game of 248. Very accomplished bowler, Jeanette Baker, very experienced bowler. The second of her 2 practice deliveries. And that's not bad.
Well, she's warmed up.
She
nice
certainly has.
Very experienced.
And now the match will begin. Another 2-game series, total pinfall to count. Jeanette Baker of South Australia, the leading qualifier, against Kathy Solis of the Philippines, the second qualifier for these grand finals. And this should be a fine match.
Well, she's in a great position, Jeanette, just to let loose, I think. She knows she's on the way to Holland.
Yes, she's already won that right.
Kathy will, of course, be trying to get to WIC Queens in the USA. So maybe she's going to settle down and think about getting out to Queens too.
Well, if she continues on the way she finished that last match, she'll do very well.
Just started to get everything going. Baker starts strong.
Wonderful start by Jeanette Baker.
Great start to the match by Jeanette. Kathy just losing the touch.
Yes, just crossing slightly and taking that head pin a little too high, too straight on. She looks very calm.
Difficult to say how they feel. They have this great concentrated look on their faces. I think it's inwardly that nothing much shows. And she spares.
Now, Jeanette Baker with the advantage with that strike in the first frame.
Head well down. Came through the ball. Little Knight. To leave the bucket on the left-hand side. Ball failed to come up in that lane.
I thought for a moment she was going to be left for that nasty 4-7-10 split.
I thought so. She's really tightened up a bit. I felt she'll have to loosen up and let the ball stroke out there. But let's pick up the spare.
So that's 20 to Jeanette Baker in the first frame, 18 to Kathy Solis with the spare plus the 8 pins. Jeanette's 20 came from the strike and the spare. Two identical frames there by Kathy Solis.
Kathy still only had the 1 error this afternoon, so she's doing very well. She likes the look of this.
Yes, and why not? 40 to Jeanette Baker in the second frame, with the strike in the third. And that's 37 to Kathy Solis in the second frame.
Let's hope she gives herself some more lane than she's been using on this 10 pin. She'll have to get out further on the left-hand side and give herself a lot more lane.
Oh, no.
She's just taken too much lane that time. It's her second error, both on 10 pin leaves.
So with that open frame, Kathy Solis is only 46 in the third frame.
Even the best.
That's right.
Put the ball in the gutter.
Jeanette Baker, 40 in the second, with a strike in the third. She can really consolidate here with another strike.
Oh, she's beautifully balanced the foul line. Perfectly still on release.
She's a real stylist, isn't she? And she has that beautifully high follow-through as well.
Well, when we see a bowler bowling with perfection, it always seems effortless to watch. There's no pulling the ball through. Everything's just working beautifully, due to lots of work on your game over the years.
Well, with strikes in 3 of the first 4 frames, Jeanette could be on the way to a very high game here. And let's hope I haven't Jonah to...
Let's hope. She looks like she's out there really thinking about what she's doing. She has a little habit of bowling beautifully, then having a little break of concentration before she gets back. 2 games, she knows she can't afford to drop her concentration this afternoon.
The fourth frame, very nicely spared there by Kathy Solis, but she's right behind the 8 ball at the moment, with that open frame in the third and no strikers yet.
Let's see what Jeanette's going to do. Let's see if she stays down with the foul line. And she's down, and she came through.
So it's 68 to Jeanette Baker. She had the third frame, a lead of 22 pins in the third frame. Kathy Solis just can't find that line again.
She'll have to change her line. She's bowling far too tight of a line. She'll be wise to get out outside.
No.
Nice difficult shot.
Missed the 3-pin completely. Second open frame, so Kathy Solis is 72 in the 5th. Jeanette Baker is 88 in the 4th, with a spare in the 5th. She had a lead of 25 pins in the 4th frame. She can increase that now.
Crossing over. Pin came back across the pin deck, and a little unlucky not to carry.
Yes, there was quite a bit of pin action there, wasn't there? It could easily have been an unorthodox strike.
She certainly gave the ball plenty that time.
She did.
Kathy's crossing, and this time Kathy crosses him and strikes.
Jeanette with the 10-pin. Spare this frame. Oh! Jeanette's first error. That's 116 in the 6th frame. Well, a double for Kathy, or a turkey, could narrow that lead down.
The Turk would be very handy with Kathy at the moment.
Yes, look good.
There's the first one.
One more, and she's cut the lead down considerably. Jeanette Baker, another picture of concentration. In the sixth frame, Jeanette Baker is 116. Kathy Solis is 72 in the fifth, but she's on her third strike in a row, which would give her 102 and cut the lead down to only 14 from 25 at one stage.
Jeanette realises that she has to spare this to stay close to Kathy, Kathy being on a double. And she almost pulled that inside the 4 pin.
Now, Kathy Solis is 102 less whatever she leaves standing with this ball, as against Jeanette Baker's 116 in the sixth frame.
Oh,
well, she's
high.
100 in the sixth frame, so the lead to Jeanette Baker is 16 now, cut down from 25 to 16.
I think Kathy will shoot this split.
Oh, and Jeanette's got a nastier one, the 4-6, almost impossible. Whereas this one that Kathy Solis has, the 4-8, with the 8 pin on the line behind the 4 pin, is a little easier. She'll have a go.
She's having a go. She's still...
Well, a good try, but she's left it open. So she is 138 in the 8th frame. And Jeanette Baker is 143 in the 8th. So the difference now is only 5 pins. Only 5 pins between the two girls, with the 2 frames only remaining in this first game. I think oh, Kathy Solis with the strike. By the way, we just calculated that score. It was 128 Kathy Solis in the 8th frame. So the lead was one of 15 pins. Pins lead to Jeanette Baker in the 8th frame, and both have strikes in the 9th.
Kathy's back on that.
Well, this is the way she finished
Good
her
line,
last
yes.
game. Jeanette Baker now.
Came in light.
Yes, matching her.
A lot of work. Nice smile from Jeanette. She's happy with that.
Kathy Solis bowling in the 10th frame. And in the 9th frame, she has a score of 157. Kathy Solis 157 in the 9th frame. Jeanette Baker, all leaving a nasty split again, but she has the advantage here. 171 in the 9th frame to 157. So that's a lead of 14 pins to Jeanette Baker, who has that nasty 4-6 split. This is the last ball of this game from Kathy Solis, and she finishes with a 177.
Kathy finished the game the same as she bowled the first game before, 177, and then produced a 203.
And Jeanette Baker is playing it safe there, taking out one of those pins, finishes with a 190. Now that's a lead of 13 pins. Jeanette Baker going into the second game of this two-game series with a lead of 13 pins.
The girls will have to move their lines out. The lanes are drying to what they were this morning. And she broke that nasty split up.
Jeanette Baker crossing over there, hoping for the Brooklyn strike. Just missing out, leaving the sixth pin. Well, we've seen Kathy Solis pick up this spare quite comfortably, I think 2 or 3 times already in this
She's only
match.
had problems with the 10 pin all day, apart from that one shot that she had on the 3-6-10. It looks good.
She has no problems with that one at all. Jeanette Baker also spares the first frame. 13 pins in it. Jeanette Baker leading by 13 pins.
Kathy's going to start saying, what do I have to do?
Oh, that's the 4-8.
And Jeanette agrees, what do you have to do?
Yes, yeah, not an easy one. This is one that Kathy missed in the first game.
Ball took too much headpin that time, as we saw on the replay, and leaves that nasty pocket split. But I think Jen will shoot for this.
Kathy has no problems at all, does she, out on the left-hand side of the deck?
I think we'll find Jeanette's going to... and she's going for it.
Yes, going for it, and doing exactly what Kathy did in the first game, making a good attempt, but the 4-pin just flying through behind the 8-pin. So the first frame scores in the second of these two games. Kathy Solis 19, Jeanette Baker 18. Cutting the lead down by 1 pin. But in the second frame, Jeanette Baker made an error, and she's 27 in the second frame. And she needed that.
She said, well, I'll go back.
So the lead is going to be only 2 pins if Kathy can spare the second frame, and she's done this so many times. She has no problems at all with the 4-7.
She's certainly left a few 4-7s, ball coming in too heavy. Not handling the drier lanes this afternoon.
Yes.
This morning.
37 in the second frame for Kathy Solis, 27 for Jeanette Baker. So that lead of 13 pins has been cut down now to 3. Jeanette Baker just a little unlucky there, perhaps, the 7-pin not falling.
Accept the count.
Kathy Solis is 54 in the third frame.
This is the same frame that Kathy chopped the game before. Let's see if she can pick it up this time. And Jeanette's got her 7-pin well covered.
54 to 47. So Jeanette Baker has picked up a few more pins. So she's 6 in front now over the 2 games.
And she's chopped it again.
Yes, an error from Kathy Solis. 63 in the 4th frame as against a possible 67 for Jeanette Baker. So she can increase her lead with this ball. She's 47 in the 3rd with a spare in the 4th. Well, she's got 8 there, so she is 65 in the 4th, a lead of 2 in this game and 15 overall. There's that 310. We've seen that quite a lot this afternoon in these finals.
There's a ball coming too high at the head pin. Not far enough to cross the booklet as strike, but high enough to leave that 310, which is probably tricky.
And Jeanette comfortably spares the 5th frame, 65 in the 4th, with a spare in the 5th. Let's see what Kathy can do with this one.
And she's made her spare.
Well done. 63 in the 4th with a spare in the 5th. So the overall lead to Jeanette Baker is 15. 13 going into this game and 2 in this game. Well done.
Jed's probably saying, let's hold this line.
Crossing over again to the Brooklyn side, leaving the 5-8.
She's made the spare.
Yes, she made it well. So that's 81 to Kathy Solis in the 5th frame with a spare in the 6th. 85 to Jeanette Baker with a strike in the 6th. That was that spare by Kathy Solis.
Kathy's looking a little tired, I think, at the moment. She's had a very grueling day. 8 match play games this morning. That time she carried. Thank you, thank you. She's just coming in much too heavy.
Yes.
Much less a shame.
So that's 99 in the 6th frame for Kathy Solis. 99. And it's 105 for Jeanette Baker. 6-pin lead in this game, and overall well, she started with a 13-pin lead. She has now increased that to 19. Jeanette Baker. Oh, yes. 125 in the 7th frame with a strike in the 8th.
That wasn't perfection striking, but the pins kicked around, and that's all Jeanette's asking.
Well, that's that baby split again. The 310 for Kathy Solis. She's 117 in the 7th frame. Difference now of 8 in this game, and overall it's a 21-pin lead to Jeanette Baker.
Kathy picked this up when she left this in the 5th frame. Let's see if she can handle it again. Bit high.
Yes, this time she's opened the frame. Another error. 126, Kathy Solis in the 8th frame. Jeanette Baker is 125 in the 7th with a strike in the 8th. So she's in a very, very comfortable position at the moment.
I think Kathy will be saying goodbye to the WIC Queens. It's a shame for her. Jeanette Baker, she's tasting blood now.
Yes, Jeanette strikes again. Consolidating the position. And Kathy's
got second life.
She seems to bring out those strikes towards the end of the game, doesn't she?
I think every 9th and 10th frames she's produced the 10th frame in the first match and the 9th frame in the match before this. I'm sure Jeanette would like to go home and produce something nice for us.
Oh, yes.
I like that. Thank you.
Bit of pin action there.
3 strikes and everyone were different.
Here it is again.
Back comes the pin off the kick back and just carries the 5-pin. Kathy's in for 9.
So Jeanette now is 155 in the 8th frame with strikes in the 9th and 10th, as against 126 for Kathy Solis. So what is it, 19 and 13, that's a lead of 32 pins.
And she has a possible 215, Jeanette. And she's really...
Yes, bowling well.
She's starting to move now.
That's 4 in a row for Jeanette Baker, 4 in a row.
Takes the girls time sometimes to warm up. 3 games isn't always long enough to produce their best.
Kathy Solis, 146 in the 9th frame with a spare in the 10th. Just 1 ball remaining. 1 ball remaining also for Jeanette Baker, who's 185 in the 9th. 2 strikes in the 10th. She's a possible 215. She's 215 less whatever she leaves standing with this ball. And that's only 1, so it's 240 for Jeanette Baker. That's a 2-game total of 404. And Kathy Solis, her last ball, leaving 2 pins standing, so she has a game of 164 for a total of 341. The difference therefore is 63.
We have a most worthy representative for Australia in Holland, the Bowling World Cup, and I'm sure we all wish Jeanette well to bring back that elusive World Cup to Australia.
Must have been a little bit disappointing for Kathy Solis. She bowled much better in the first match in this grand final series against Louise Wallace.
I don't think it should be upset somehow. Kathy's very first tournament was to get over here. So she won't be disappointed, I'm sure.
Although she has missed that trip to the States for the Queen, which would have been a great experience for the young Filipino bowler. So we have in both sections Australians filling the first places, and at the moment they're receiving their trophies. Ron Hutchison, who is the manager of the Bankstown Bowl, is going to present the trophies. Steve Mackey, the tournament director, is out there as well. But there's the trophy for Jeanette Baker, the winner of the ladies section of the TAA South Pacific Classic 1982. And Jeanette will represent Australia at the World Cup. And there's the men's winner Ian Bradford from Victoria. He also will represent Australia at the World Cup in Holland in November. And they are the two happy winners. The ladies champion for the second time, Jeanette Baker of South Australia, and for the first time, Ian Bradford of Victoria. At the Bankstown Bowl in Sydney, this is John O'Reilly for ABC Sport.